We're moving closer to home, the American West, where things are still more wild than you might realize. Police say fugitive cowboys are stealing cattle because, well, they're valuable. And we're there for a bust straight out of a Hollywood Western as two suspected crime rings collide. Here's ABC's Nick Watt.
Chief Jerry Flowers is his name. Catching cattle thieves is his game. With Big Eddie, Pretty Patrick and the boys, they are the Cowboy Cops. Tonight, in the case of McCoy's missing cattle, they are on the hunt for Snag and Wallace. Two cowboys, they say, have crossed to the dark side. Flowers and his men leave no stone unturned in their hunt for the perpetrators of this crime now blighting the West.
Larceny of a domestic animal, which is cattle theft.
We're talking cattle rustling, a crime straight out of a John Wayne Western.
I don't expect to get to Belfouche with one single head of beef.
And a crime back on the rise in 21st century America. The West is still wild. We're talking rawhide.
Move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide.
Meets Breaking Bad.
These outlaws that are stealing the farm equipment and cattle and stuff are using drugs.
Yep, he's saying meth addicts are stealing cattle worth around $1,000 each to finance their habits. Cattle rustling is a crime now dirtying up what I thought was no longer the Wild West. Nightline obtained this startling surveillance footage of a major cow heist up in Missouri. Thieves back a big rig up to the cow pen and, one by one, coax the unsuspecting cattle onto the trailer. Cud-chewing cows make for easy money. They snatch the whole herd except for this last guy, left mooing for his buddies.
Well, if it was up to me, I'd fix it where they wouldn't steal any more. I mean, I'd cut a hand off or something.
Yep, that's Jet McCoy of Amazing Race fame and a very recent victim of cattle rustlers. Being a cowboy is his day job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And his daddies before him.
Would you ever do anything else?
No, I've never done anything else, and I can't see myself doing anything else. I mean,
You don't want to move to New York City and work in fashion?
No, no. I mean, this is just what I do.
It's his cattle that are missing. They were taken gradually, about 100 head stolen in all, and it took a while before McCoy even noticed they were gone.
You can't be watching them all the time.
Yeah, you can't be, and that's the thing, unless you had like a shepherd that was with them 24/7.
He took a plane up to make sure they hadn't just wandered onto neighboring property. For a man like McCoy, 100 grand's worth of stolen cattle is serious business.
It's no surprise to me that in the old days when they found somebody stealing cattle and horses that they just strung them up.
Just like in the movie, Hang 'em High. These days, the penalty is 3 to 10 years in jail for each animal stolen. It's still a serious crime. Jerry Flowers and his 9 agents make up a crack unit dedicated to tracking down cattle thieves. Like modern-day Wyatt Earps, these cowboy cops patrol Oklahoma's vast prairies and cattle ranches.
We're not all hat and no cattle. We're the real deal.
When McCoy's cows went missing, Flowers and his cattle cops swung into action.
The criminals that we are arresting out here in these rural crimes in the middle of nowhere are the same criminals that are arresting in cities like in Oklahoma City and Tulsa and Los Angeles and even New York. They're all criminals.
And based on the word around the campfire, they're on the trail of these guys. That's David Wallace, and that is Larry Smith, a.k.a. Snag. Both work as ranch hands in the area.
If we can put the pressure on the outlaws down there, somebody will call us and tell us where Snag is to get the pressure off of them. All right, that'll be the plan, buddy. We'll go get in the hunt.
I know both of them. One of the guys worked here on the ranch.
Snag and Wallace have been around cattle all their life, and quite frankly, they were pretty good cowboys back in their days. But their downfall was they got strung out on dope.
But cops say Snag and Wallace, known felons, had left a paper trail here at the stockyards. They'd used their own names to sell the stolen cattle. Chief Flowers put his posse on their tails.
We started to develop information about these two individuals taking cattle and building them in at a livestock market in Atoka.
Selling stolen cattle is easier than you might think. Markets like this move thousands of head a week, and a lot of them aren't even branded.
Someone gets his cow stolen, it's kind of hard to identify.
You know, I've had people call me up and say, "Hey Jerry, I had a couple of my steers stolen." I said, "Well, tell me what do they look like?" Well, they're 500-pound black steers.
Especially Patrick Blake with Department of Ag.
Check these motels in Atoka. My guys are putting in 12 to 14 hours a day on this. We're eating on the run. We're not getting any sleep. We're not seeing our families, and of course that, you know, that's what we get paid to do.
Finally, a break in the case.
Apparently, and there was a blue car sitting there with a paper tag that had the name David Wallace on it.
Guarantee that's it.
That's David Wallace. Kick your feet out.
Do that, turn around right there.
For Wallace, the jig was up.
Hey, I've been getting up every morning for over 40 years doing this. This right here today is the reason why.
Yeah, David Wallace being in jail, that's excellent news. Having a guy out roaming the country that's capable of stealing that many cattle kind of makes a fella nervous.
Oh, we saw that PT Cruiser, and he was running 80, 85 miles an hour. He was trying to get away.
Who could, they say, be cooling those heels in the joint for 25 years if he's convicted. Flowers and his men caught up with Wallace's rustling partner Snag a week later. Now both are awaiting trial and have yet to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty.
As long as there are cattle, are people going to try and steal them?
Yes, that's right. It'll never end. It's going to be something that's been here hundreds of years, and it's going to stay here. And I still enjoy every morning getting up and pulling my boots on and enjoy the thrill of the hunt when I go out and chase these outlaws.
Modern day American heroes with more than just a whiff of a bygone era. I'm Nick Watt for Nightline in Oklahoma.